Okay. Well, I'm having the great privilege of sitting with Ashley Veenstra. And wow, she's a Super League pro. She's an elite fitness model. She is owner of Veenstra Fitness. You are an elite coach of many magnitudes. And
Yeah.
you are Mama Bear to Cato, your
Katie.
main man in your life. And I love that. So Ashley, where are you at today in your day-to-day? Give us a bit of a bio and catch us up in the world of Ashley Veenstra.
Well, I guess my career the last 12 years, I've been doing personal training and I did some fitness managing, so running and helping trainers run their business and develop into their roles. Alongside of that, I've been an athlete, so doing fitness shows. I've done 8 fitness shows, and I'm a pro with the WBFF, and I just got moved into Super League. I guess the last since it started, so July 29th was the first one. So moved into Super League. Now I'm a pro with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That keeps you pretty much running on the daily.
Extremely busy.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So, hey, like on the coaching end of things and the you do programs for people too then, right? You kind of get
Yeah.
them ready for stage and you do all of that good stuff too, because of course you got the experience and knowledge and you know what it takes to get the people to get them.
Yeah. Lots of fitness, a lot of mentoring, meal plans, it all kind of goes into one, right?
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, and just kind of dial in. I'm more about like lifestyle training. So, you can do fitness all you want, but you got to live the lifestyle too. So,
Walk us through when you say lifestyle training, that's got me piqued here in my curiosity. What does that all entail? Lifestyle training. That's a pretty good way to look at it.
yeah, so it's just being healthier overall, right? Like a lot of people just think it's going to the gym and, just chiming in that 1 or 2 hours a day and then trying to eat healthy. But it's really, like your mental state of being healthy and taking care of, everything. Like, mentally with your job, you're enjoying waking up in the morning, going to work, you're passionate about what you do, you're living the entire lifestyle. So it just doesn't come down to fitness and being healthy. It's being mentally and emotionally balanced, I would say. So
You're a great role model for that, Ashley. And in your clients, what would be the percentage of female and male for you?
I would say probably I train mostly females. I do 70 probably percent, 60-70% of females and then males.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to run an all women's gym, so that was the first gym I ran. And then I train a lot of females for stage as well. But I do train a lot of males as well now, so it's a nice change up.
So let's throw. I'm going to throw a question at you. Who's definitely the harder crowd? Like who whines a little more than the other? Or
All the males for sure.
that doesn't surprise me. I think I'm one of those whiny bitches at times.
Man, females are pretty tough. I've trained some pretty tough girls. So,
Damn.
yeah.
And what do you think makes that difference? Like, I want you to share a little bit about your story and what you've gone through and endured to get to where you are today. But is that what you find is like a really a main point to why women like adapt and become so much stronger?
Yeah, a lot of the women I've trained have come out of some pretty hard situations. So I use fitness kind of as a I don't know, motivator to kind of burn off that energy, right? So you go to the gym and burn it off and you're a little bit better for your everyday life. But, a lot of them going through divorces or raising single children or, they just kind of ditch that energy at the gym and then breathe in some good and, walk out of the gym a better person. So
That is awesome. And then it just kind of naturally flows in their day to day when they get out in the real world, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly. Because a lot of people don't have that outlet, right? So I train my clients to use that energy as an outlet. So,
Nice.
yeah.
So how are you tapping into, like, do you in your session say, like, how much of that are you sitting there talking to them, mentally preparing them to, like, listen, I'm going to push you harder than you've ever been pushed before, not so much just on a lunge or a squat or whatever it is you're doing, but in the mental fortitude? How do you go about tackling that with them?
Well, I usually do original meet and greet with the client, and I kind of ask them like, what's their purpose for joining fitness? A lot of people kind of bear down to, I want to do this physically, or, it comes down to a personal physical goal, or I would say, I guess like physical, and then it gets more emotional, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I kind of use as their motivation as a client, um, because that's really gets what's going to make or break them in the session. So I use that not against them, but I use it to drive them. I use it to motivate them.
Hell yeah.
So, everyone's different how you would motivate them on the floor. Some people you just kind of not talk about it and push them through sessions, and other people they just want to, talk to you about it. But yeah, in the end of the day, they become to be stronger, and there's always barriers that they have to push through, and you just know those barriers as they come, or
Geez,
as
that,
they
that
happen. Yeah.
that builds a lot of courage within one, doesn't it? Too, like
Yeah,
you
it
you
does.
you get them there, and then they're finding that place that you got them to, where they had to dig really deep and really
Yeah.
like surpass their fear or their anger. And
Yeah.
then when they get that momentum, like you said, it's just like, holy shit. Like you must just smile a lot when you see the transformation in
Yeah,
people.
yeah, for sure. It's like, you help people, they come in there to want to lose 60 pounds, but really, some people have been single for 15 years of their life. And then really the goal is to not be alone anymore. Like there's like goals like that, and they lose the 60 pounds and become to be more confident to be in the dating world. And like, now they're married with children or something. So you help them, achieve a goal far more than just 60-pound weight loss.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
there's people are a lot deeper than what they say they are, I guess,
Yeah. And you really have built a creative program to dig that out of them, which man, that's awesome, Ashley, that you have done that. You kind of have a niche market. Like you said, it's not just about, oh, you want to lose 60 pounds to get to here. You
Yeah.
tackle, like you said, the mental, the physical, the emotional, hell, that's even spiritual, right? On
Mhm.
on a level. You've kind
Yeah,
of
it's just
created this.
working, and it's working with people and just knowing people, right? So years of seeing thousands of clients, right? Like working with them, just I don't know, just trucking through it. And some clients are harder than others, but it just takes a lot longer with those clients.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Give us one example of one that was like an aha moment, even for you. Maybe not that you thought, oh man, he or she is not going to make it through this, but that they totally blew your drawers off and shocked you with what they transformed into. Can you think of like one just that sticks out like no tomorrow?
Yeah, there's some like some are pretty stubborn, and they're very strong-willed, and and they're breaking down some of their barriers is hard. It just takes a lot of time and opening their mind up to new ideas. But feel like I don't know, like some of them aren't even big weight losses. It's just a I don't know how you would say it, like a stubbornness within themselves, because they're never going to achieve that goal unless they become to be more open-minded with the plan to get there, right? So
Yeah.
I don't really know. I can't really say it's one client, because it's many. I've had many clients that were like that, but a lot of it's just consistency in the programs,
Yes.
right? And then eventually they'll have to budge. They'll see that it's the last thing, everything else is working minus that one thing. So
Yeah.
kind of break them down into almost everything, every aspect, diet and the training, and then they'll see it's just that last thing.
Yeah.
It's just opening their mind up. And
So how are you holding them accountable? Like, what does their accountability look like? Not only just showing up, but do they have to journal? Like, do they have to show you, produce to you?
yeah,
Yeah.
well, they like every client's different, but they are run on certain plans on their own. So I set them up doing things with myself. They're doing workout plans on their own, eating. And I mean, in session to session, you're going to know if the client's doing it or not,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's pretty evident if a client's following their eating plan or their training program that they can't progress to the next phase of training. So, if they're following it, they're kind of more rewarded. But if they're not, I mean,
You're gonna have your boot so
session
far
gets a
up their
little
ass.
different. Yeah. Exactly.
Ashley, who would stick out in your mind that was one of your greatest mentors, or really pushed you to that level that you were, that just got you out of where you were at to go like, holy crap, like who could you?
Yeah, and honestly, like I used to be one of those stubborn clients because I was so busy in my life trying to keep up with everything. At a certain point, it was kind of the turning point for me to getting my pro card. But Nathan Harewood was as my mentor and my coach, and I'm still training with him. So that must have been in 2011, I think,
Yeah.
or 12. I started training with him. But I was just so busy fitness managing and working, and I had all these excuses to not do things, and he just kind of like dialed me into just no excuses, and if you want this, you go for it, and these are the changes you make, and it was just pretty black and white with him. So
That
if
fella.
I didn't follow my programs, he would just bury my head in the session.
He would make you pay, hey?
Yeah, like I was leaving like not feeling good those sessions, and so it was like, if I want to feel better and stronger in these sessions, I'm gonna, eat better, train better, follow my program. So it was just like, you had work to do outside of those sessions.
Yeah.
So
Nathan
yeah,
definitely does have a gift. I tell you what, he has touched a lot of people that way, in such a
yeah.
good way. And he's from here. He's from Lloydminster, where I grew up, or
Oh
where
yeah,
I'm at. Yeah, that's where he's
yeah.
originally from. And of course, I'm
And I
from
was in
the.
Calgary.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
damn cool.
yeah,
Awesome. So, tell us a little bit about your little man, about Cato, how his age, and he's busy in school and sports
yeah.
and swimming and all this good stuff. Keeps Mama Bear busy.
Yeah, he's in grade 8 now.
Oh
Or
wow.
sorry, grade 3, and he's 8. Yeah, so he's gonna be 9 actually next week. So big boy. He's really big for his age too. But he's busy little guy. So he loves swimming. He tries to keep up with me and work out because he wants to get abs for his future girlfriends. I'm like, what?
Oh, the vanity has started young, hey?
Pretty much. I'm
Oh
like, oh
wow.
boy, he's a busy guy. Yeah.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So Ashley, run us through here a little bit of your last 12 years. This is really what you said is you've been active at this for 12 years, like
Yeah.
hardcore living the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Take us back to 12 years ago, maybe something that fueled you to say, fuck it, this is not a life I want to live or where I want to be at. And I have to step
Mm.
outside of this. I have to run into the fear and just mow it over.
Yeah. So I kind of started fitness. Well, actually, I was in oil and gas prior to this, and when that whole boom hit, and I got offered to go to school and to kind of do all the marketing and work for oil and gas, but I was just like, sitting at a desk all day wasn't for me. So I wanted a job that I could stay busy in because I'm just a busybody. That's just
Yeah.
me. But no, I got into the gym and fitness, and I've always kind of was into active lifestyle. So I really did like it. As I got more into the role, I really loved working with clients one-on-one and into personal training. But when I was younger, like I was really social and going out with friends all the time. So it was something that could deviate me from that, the partying lifestyle and just getting back into the fitness element. So that's what kind of I liked. And then I had Caden about a few years later. So that's really when I took on the management role. So, I was a single mother with Caden, and I really wanted to, I don't know, just, you like being a single mom, you need to fend for yourself and take care of your little guy. So, taking on this management role kind of meant that, like, I was somebody and was helping lots more people other than Kaden, making good money, being able to, I bought a new house then, and just being able to take care of ourselves mattered to me. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good.
That's a lot of self gratification that you took that upon yourself to whoop some ass. And what a great mentor for your boy you are too, right? You know,
Yeah, yeah, for
to show
sure.
him that you get out what you put in and you work really hard. And here he is wanting abs at 8 years old already so he can score his first new hottie.
It's like, oh my God, kid.
So when he sees his mom out there whooping some ass like in Super League and just moving all this heavy ass weight, and just like you said, you like to be active and busy. What is
Yeah.
his thoughts,
Um,
or how does he share with you?
I don't know. Like, well, it's funny because when he sees the front of a magazine, sometimes he thinks it's me all the time. So it's kind of like those things kind of are flattering when your child like sees, oh, that's my mom in a magazine or that's my mom in a fitness video.
Yeah,
So I guess as a role model, right?
yeah.
Um, so that's kind of nice, but I think he's just used to it. Like the fitness, he's always seen me working out and dragging him to fitness, or exercise routines or the gym with my clients. Like we're always doing something fitness related, but I think that's just kind of what he grew up doing
That's great.
or
Yeah.
has been around. So yeah, I don't know if he knows life kind of without it. So
So, and you have some roots back here in Saskatchewan, Alberta border city here, where you spent a lot of your childhood growing up at
yeah,
the lakes and water skiing. Like you say, you've always been active sports,
yeah, like
water skiing.
outside water skiing, riding horses, quadding, snowboarding, like a lot of the sports are outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, but back in Saskatchewan and Alberta, yeah, like small town.
Yeah.
Small town. Yeah.
That's
So no,
pretty.
it was a good life, and that's what Caden still does on the farm with my parents, right? So he has a little pony, and we try and go skiing as much as we can, and yeah, just enjoying the lake as much as we can in the summer times, and it's
That is
been
great. Yeah, good stuff. So
yeah.
let's talk a little bit about Super League. And how did you find Super League, or how did Super League find you? Like you're one of the first originals, and I think
Yeah.
that's damn cool. And here you are, still sticking it out, gunning for it, and you're a huge asset and help
Yeah.
to them too, with the Power Series there back at home, and you started up in gyms there.
Yeah.
But how did they find you, or how did you find into Super League? And
Well, I was actually drafted through social media, Super League, and like I think that was around, oh, it was maybe May or June. I think it was May, April, May, maybe even last year.
yep,
It's about a year ago now. And yeah, they drafted me. We had a few calls and interviews and just get the lowdown on kind of what it was. And I was interested in it, the different styles of training that they had, and that was actually going to be, going someplace like, there was the athletes being drafted from all over North America. That was kind of what intrigued me the most, to meet athletes from all over, and it was a new sport. And so, yeah, when they found me, it was, I was interested in going, and yeah, so I think I had a call with Jay on the phone, and yeah, I was really interested and decided to go for it and see what it was all about.
and haven't looked back a day since, have you?
And the first Super League was something. Yeah, so it was interesting. It's the first Super League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you got into Super League and you got into that atmosphere and you got kicking some ass and doing those things,
Hmm.
how did that feel for you? Like I watch all you athletes, and it's amazing to me how you just transform and grab this energy when you need it and just perform at the highest level I've ever seen. But
Yeah.
how did
Yeah.
that impact you? Like how has that impacted
Yeah.
you in other ways?
Well, it's interesting because the people that do Super League obviously train to those levels, right? Like they like to really push themselves to those limits. I always say when you get in the Super League ring that you're in a whole other dimension of living and training. Like you just kind of disappear for a little while and you're in the zone, and then you come back out of it and you're like, whoa, that was awesome, right? Like,
Yeah.
but if you train really hard like that, like almost too, they say like, people train for yoga and they just kind of get into the zen and that spiritual state. I find in bodybuilding it's kind of, you can train yourself to those limits where you just kind of close yourself off from the world and really focus in on what you're training, and pushing yourself to whole new limits. And I kind of find you do that with all your, everything you prepare yourself for a Super League, you're doing in the ring, and seeing what you can compare yourself to other people now, right? That's what most people I get feedback is they say it's interesting to compare myself against some of the people around the world, my strengths and my abilities and endurance.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like how you dial yourself in for it.
And that atmosphere, when you get in that atmosphere, Ashley, and the culture of everyone, it
Yeah.
could be someone in the same weight category that you're actually competing against, but they're there spotting you, helping you, cheering you on.
Mm-hmm.
What does that do for you, like the culture and the atmosphere?
Yeah, the athletes are amazing. Like doing this sport is just something else. Like, when we first went to the first Super League, we all didn't know what to expect, right? Like if it was going to be really heavy competition and people were just going to be super competitive and not really talking to each other. I know some athletes were saying backstage of shows, it's like that. Just so competitive that people are just kind of snubbing each other. But at Super League, it's like we're like a family, right? Like, we come from all different corners of the world and we're all placed in this ring and it's competitive as hell, but yet we're best friends outside of the ring, and so we're supporting each other and like hanging out all the time. And it's just nice to have, fitness friends where you train to those levels that y'all get along and it's not just I guess, competitive that you can't be friends.
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of, I think, differentiates some of these sports too, is everyone's good friends and really loves and supports each other, and outside of the ring and inside the ring. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
you've met a lot of new people over the last year, then, is what I'm
Hmm.
hearing you say, that are now lifelong friends, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And it's pretty cool how you can leverage each other's relationships and grow and get to where you need to be doing that. That's pretty damn awesome too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's nice to have, because I mean, you do the sport and you're in there for an hour, but we're there for the whole weekend. So it's nice to learn different training styles we talk about, or just things going on in our lives. Just, like we have a whole lifestyle we live before we come here. So it's nice to kind of click with the people that you live similar lifestyles with. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, this is a pretty common question that I ask, but it's one I'm always really curious about, and to get in the mind of Ashley Veenstra at the moment. If you could change, I'm gonna nail it to the fitness industry though. If you could shake a magic wand and change one thing in the fitness industry that you think is kind of maybe got out of control, or is not really the way you see it after being a professional at this for over a decade,
Yeah.
what would that be?
Um, I would say like, I don't know. I would say like the social media thing's a little out of control. I would say like living the lifestyle and some of the Instagram, I think can be portrayed quite fakely.
Yeah.
Like you're on Instagram, you can make that one post or a few posts a day for your followers, but it doesn't really go into detail of the lifestyle that you do live. Um, I just feel like there could be a fakeness about it too.
Yeah.
So and so is famous on Instagram, but what's their actual lifestyle they really do live? So I think that that's kind of been a little out of control, and I'm not saying everyone does it, but I think that there is a lot, can be a fakeness to the social media,
Yeah.
just advertising, right? So, and the lifestyle is a whole other thing that we live every day, every minute, the choices we do, the food we eat, the training that we put into it, the people we surround ourselves with. So yeah,
It,
so I don't know. It's like a whole other ball game, right?
yeah, I think that's a great answer, and that's the first I've heard like that and put that way. And if I
Yeah.
top it up to another question now, if you could add a social media platform that you think would help that,
Hmm.
what would that look like? Like you're onto something different. You're going to actually maybe start your own. You can start your own social media platform here, Ashley. But I think
Yeah.
you raised some good points. And what would you like to see maybe change in terms of that?
I don't know. Like I kind of like more of the Snapchat lifestyle, because you can actually see how people live every day other than just the posts they're posting, right?
Right.
Because if you look at some people's, like, you know, Instagram to Snapchat, they live totally different lives. But that's just more videoing, and then the followers can see where they're training, how they're eating, people they hang out with, their actual total lifestyle. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would create another platform. Like, I think the biggest platforms that you can make is going to some of these events and actually being around all these fitness people. You know, like, I think Super League's got it down when they're doing these virtual events. And now we're having gyms actually virtually train and connecting, you know, like, there's these pros against these pros in different federations, but now these pros are friends, or this gym against this gym, or CrossFit against powerlifters or training. Like, it's actually like a whole new community that we're joining and integrating together. And I like that, because we're, you know, like, you're starting to find people that train and do the lifestyles or live the lifestyles that you're living. And you're able to actually be, you know, oh yeah, we do live like the same lifestyles. However, we do different sports.
Yeah.
So I think that makes the lifestyle a little more real for some of us, right?
And that's a really neat point, because a lot of these people that have come into this have been off the grid. Like, some of
Yeah.
them don't even have Instagram, or they just get noticed that they're strong as fuck and they're ready to throw it down and do
Mhm.
something with it once somebody finds them.
Exactly.
That's a great
Yeah.
point you raised there. And I think that's what's really neat about this being a virtual sport, like you said, but it's
Yeah.
also allowing them to go to something that it's them versus that, like just you versus you. Get in there and just thrash it and have some fun. And you
Yeah.
got the culture and you got the backing and the support. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The biggest thing is to get away from the social media and still live the sport, right? So
Yes. Good
yeah.
point. Good point.
Yeah.
So, Ashley, I look at you as an entrepreneur as well. And you only go into detail as you want, but you have a few big things in the works that I know about, but maybe you don't want to quite share that yet. But
Yeah.
where are you kind of at with that? I know you're also with the Strapped Apparel. You're a brand ambassador for Landon and Strapped
Yeah.
Apparel. And
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. So Landon and he's kind of getting involved in Super League as well. So I think his goal is to be kind of the Western Canadian side of the Super League, starting to support that for the clothing line and all the Super League gear that we're wearing. But yeah, so he's been kind of a big help with actually helping me launch some of the Super League Power Series and the Combine. So
yeah.
kind of for Western Canada. But alongside of that, like, I'm in the middle of the works of a supplement line as well. It's more the health line, and so getting that going too. So I'm not going to say too much about that yet.
Fair enough. You want to just kind of bring it to the front line when it's good to go, and I get that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty exciting, though. I bet you that's a lot of work, though, isn't it? When you think you
Yeah, I
got.
have a lot on the go,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of keeping it all flow.
Oh, I lost you, Ashley. There, you're back. I lost you.
Yeah.
I lost you for a quick second, but yeah, you had said you got a lot on the go, and you're trying to keep it all balanced. Is it can be quite a trick, but also
Yeah.
you have so much excitement. You have so much excitement in your life driving you to say, this is going to be awesome to get up today and see what else I can get into and do and light fires, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll take off soon here.
Absolutely.
Um,
So
yeah.
you just recently made a move too. You're in Airdrie though, still correct?
No, I'm in Calgary now.
You went into
Yeah.
Calgary from Airdrie. Okay.
Yeah. So Kane's going to school in Calgary, and I have a gym in Calgary and Airdrie I'm training out of right now. Platoon Fitness is one of them. So it's a great gym in Calgary.
Did you say it's
So
called Platoon Fitness?
Platoon
That's a
at
stellar name. I
RX
love that
Fitness.
name. That's hardcore.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
pretty cool gym. It's got some MMA fighters there, and it's got a little bit of CrossFit and power lifters, and I'm kind of doing the bodybuilding thing there, so it's awesome.
That
Yeah.
is great. And that could be a future home to hold a Power Series event.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Power Series and some Combine. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Good.
Yeah. gonna be good.
So I want to play a little. We play this little game. I get to ask you a question, and
Okay.
and you have to answer it. You could take some time. We're gonna have a little fun. And this is DJ that came up with this. There used to be this talk show, and on the talk show they used to have celebrities come on, and they used to ask them some off the wall questions. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with this one. What is your favorite word?
Oh my goodness. um. Hmm. You know what I say a lot of is that's funny.
Hey, well, that's yours. You cloned it.
I'm
That's
like
funny.
that's funny, and I'm not laughing.
Well, there you go. Good answer. Okay. I love this one. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you, Ashley, got to the pearly gates?
Like a fist pump or something.
Man, that's pretty basic.
Yeah, girl.
That's pretty simple, eh? That's awesome. So do you want to share with us what Ashley's favorite curse word is? And you have to say it. What is your favorite curse word?
I do say the word fuck a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it usually out of anger or just
No,
fuck?
it's just the farm girl in me. My dad swears like a trucker, and you don't want to hear those swears.
Those are actually phrases. Eh?
Swear.
Yeah, those are actually phrases.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it, Ashley. In this, I don't want to always call it a cynical world we live in, but we live in a pretty fast-paced world, and we're pretty blessed where we live to have the freedoms we have and all the things. So
Yeah.
that said, if you could share one message, if all 8 billion people were listening in this world to you right at this moment,
Mm-hmm.
and you could share with them one message, what would that be?
What would that be? Well. I don't know. I would just say like society is really fast paced. You're right nowadays, and like I find that people, because it is so fast paced, I find people may not always do what makes them happy, and that could be for career moves or what's best for the people around them or things like that. But they also always like listen. I don't know how to say this. Like they listen to society, they follow society rules too much, which doesn't make them happy. So I just think at a certain point you got to say fuck all that, literally, and you have to do what makes you happy. And it might not make a lot of people happy, but in the end of the day, if you truly do what makes you happy and passionate, and you're passionate about it, you're going to influence a ton of people. And I think life is kind of backwards that way, where they say that the people that love you most are the ones that are more afraid of you doing the things, taking those risks in life.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of true. So you got to do what's always best for you. And then, you do well when you do life that way,
Yeah.
So just taking those risks and being passionate about something and being the leader in it. And yeah, so
that
kind
is
of
great.
that way.
Yeah, and that's great. I think you've crafted your skill, and
Yeah.
that's what you just put out there right now. And I think that's great advice for people to have that are living in darkness or fear or don't know how to get out of it. Even them just hearing you say that, Ash, may say like, "Fuck yeah, this girl's out there lighting it up. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do something that gets me out of my comfort zone and push forward with it." And,
yeah, because through a lot of hard times, I've learned that the people that are supposed to be there for me weren't, because they only wanted to be on my train when I was on, my train was rolling, it's hot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you learn through those times that it's really you and what you want in life that's going to make you happy. you know, because people pleasing isn't always going to be, or isn't always healthy, really.
Nope.
And deep down inside, you're going to know that that's not your calling, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's not what you're destined to do. So some people learn, I guess, earlier on in their life, and some, I guess, don't. So I don't know, but it takes strength to be able to step outside that box and be strong enough to just, you know, live life by yourself a little bit, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But then you find those people, like Super League people are like that. You know, you find those strong people that are doing it, living on their own and living strong with the right, you know, you find the people
Yeah.
that have come through a lot of shit, but through that shit, they've probably gone through it a lot on their own, you know? So, and then they find their calling through it. You
That
know?
is amazing that you said that. And I think you find those people, but those people find you, right?
Yeah.
Those people found you, Ashley, in there just as
Yeah.
much as you found them. And I think you're onto something huge. That's a common denominator in a lot of these things that have some kind of a culture based,
Mhm.
or people just saying, fuck these struggles I go through. If I could take and make this into this creative fuel and do
Yeah.
something so fucking stellar with it that it would blow my mind, that's what you're searching for. And that's what you've done. And
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
goddamn cool, girl. That
So it's
is,
like you go through something, you learn from it, and you become someone from it, or you just dwell on it, you know, forever and ever and ever, and you just you're not learning from the mistake, you know.
well,
So
that Ashley is what they say is the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same
yeah,
thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So
that's that is stellar. That is great that you think that way, and it's helped you to find you, you know,
yeah,
as well. And I think that's what a lot more of us need. And as you were talking, you know, it came back to a place where I was at one time in my life too, and I said to myself, looking in the fucking mirror, I had to look in the mirror and say, you know what, dude, there's a fine line between being selfish and smart. But right
yeah,
fucking now, you need to concentrate on yourself because you're absolutely useless to
yeah,
yourself and to everybody else.
yeah,
And I've adopted that. And at times when I think, God, I'm being a little selfish, I feel so good about everything I'm doing. And I'm in this mode and I'm just thrashing shit. And am I leaving anyone there? No, I'm doing it, and they're reaping a benefit because the old man's happy, you know,
exactly.
or whatever it is, or your friends are happy. And
And you'll get those negative comments from people, you know, that, you know, she's selfish, or she's this or whatever it is. But those are just people scared to live life, I think, scared
yeah,
to live life for themselves. You know, they're latching on to people. So it's like everyone's here to live life on their own and be happy. You should just be supporting each other and their dreams and what they want to do. And, you
yeah.
know, so
No need to have any more fucking naysayers in the world. There's enough of them, isn't there?
pretty
Actually,
much.
you talked with an awful lot of passion there earlier when you just said that you were at a point in your life one time when you realized that you were at the height of kicking some serious ass, and everybody just wanted to latch on the Ashley
Mhm.
train, for lack
Yeah.
of better saying. Share with us how you were able to transform that and say, fuck it, this isn't doing me any good, and I got
Yeah.
this.
Like I was actually pretty surprised when I realized, you know, when I was on my lowest, I was going through a pretty bad divorce and just needed some time away from society, you know.
Yeah,
Just I was always in the spotlight, so it kind of took some time for myself. But I mean, I was surprised who really wasn't there when I was, you know, took that step back. So, but I really learned like shit, like when I'm there to fall, I was always there for people. And, you know, when I was there, because I was always a strong one.
yeah,
But when I took the step back and I realized that not a lot of people were there, and it was kind of me in the world that, you know, and so it was like, shit, like I kind of almost got angry about it, you know, but I was like, there's no point in even getting angry. You just got to realize, I just realized a whole lot that I guess that, what was it, year and a half or whatever it was, that it was just you and life, you know? And for me, I was always pleasing people. So I was just over this, I was trying to do too much, you know? So pleasing people can consume you. right?
Yeah.
And it all actually takes you away from a lot of your goals and things that you want to achieve in your life. So yeah, so I just kind of stopped doing that and just started really dialing in on, myself and what I really wanted and goals and dreams, and, kind of pissed some people off when you did it, but
but but but that's where you had to
stepped
say,
on a lot of
fuck it.
toes. But at the same time, it's like, like I can't keep pleasing people if I don't, if that's not the goal I want in the end of the day. And it was
Yeah.
doing nothing to benefit me, right? People are just latching onto you, trying to take that energy from
Yeah.
you.
So
So
shit,
yeah.
that's another great point, and that's very well said, Ashley. What do you do to avoid that? So someone's trying to, like you said, they're energy suckers, or they're trying to take that like put negative onto you, and you somehow have to block it. What have you worked that you can maybe share
Well,
with?
really what you got to do is you can't really just focus on the negative. You got to focus on the positive. So put your energy into people that are living like you. So, just kind of, because right now you're at that point, I was probably surrounding myself with people that weren't supporting me or living like me. And so I was looking for people that were.
Yeah.
So the transition in my life was I was actually starting to change my groups of friends, or let's say change the places I worked, or just disregard myself from that, and or those types of people. And like I said, those people that are like that, they always attack you. They have these ways of trying to bring you down, but you just gotta just focus on what you're here to do, is help people. And training as an athlete was a big one for me. So if I had to, kind of do that on my own, that was fine, right? I don't need a big group of people to help me do that. But the biggest thing is just focus on the positive, and then you'll draw in more positive, right?
Yeah.
So I was kind of in the middle of doing that when Super League contacted me. So I'm happy I went to the first Super League, because it was like everybody there was exactly like I was, like positive people working on themselves and trying to be, big influencers in the industry.
Yeah.
And so it kind of felt like I was finally at home, so with athletes like that.
I,
Um,
I tell you
so
what, that's a hair raising on the back of my neck moment right there. You said,
yeah,
well, it is, girl. You said that with such passion, and I'll tell you
yeah,
what, when Danny and Jay and Sue and all them hear this,
yeah,
and they always make this about the athlete's experience, and that's the whole thing about Super League. It's for the
yeah.
athletes and their experience to
Oh,
grow and do
exactly.
like you just said. That is remarkable that it helped you to feel that way.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And life is about experiences, right? So why would you want to put yourself in a bad experience? So if you're continuously doing that, then pull yourself out of that experience, right? Like I've just up and moved to Calgary, and I'm changing gyms because I want to surround myself with now more, I guess, calibered athletes to
Yeah.
go to the next level with my training. So, and then I want Caden in a better school. So I've literally just up and moved ourselves from, situations just didn't serve us anymore, but just better living, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm excited to be in some of these new gyms I'm going to be at and meeting new athletes. I want to be networking with the same people. And so you get a choice every day. You can do the same thing, or you can change, and you can keep continuing to grow.
That takes a truckload, because you and I are from the country. We're going to say a truckload. That takes a truckload of courage, Ashley.
Yeah.
And where did that really stem from in your life? Like, who has a big influence on you to say, fuck it, I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. I'm going forward.
I
How did
think
that?
I've always kind of been like that. And I think that just kind of comes naturally to me. But, taking these charges and changes in life and stuff, it's just kind of like, okay, this isn't working. I need to do this now. Right? It keeps tying me back to the same situation. So it's like, nope, I need to change that. So yeah. So I think that I just have that natural instinct in me. I think it's great because I'm a single mother. So that goes, I have that extra little ability to do that for Caden and I.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but for, you know, when you go through some pretty bad shit in your life, I guess, you really, and you learn from it, you're able to actually transform it into some strength. You know, if you're able to live and be good through the shitty times, you're able to, and have more strength through the good times, you know?
hell yeah.
So,
It just creates a big momentum, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly.
Well,
So,
plus, no one's gonna mess around with a mama bear when she's protecting her young. So no one better
yeah,
fucking get in your way.
that's true, right? So,
That is great. So, what is the next big event for you, Ashley, coming up? Like in terms of like anything in the WBFF or Super League? Of course,
um,
you'll be doing the World War. Absolutely.
yeah,
What's
I'll be doing that. So that's the Worlds for Super League is September.
yeah.
So I'll be training for that. I just recently kind of joined that combine, so it's like the CrossFit little circuit there that Super League just started. So kind of figuring that out. See if I'm going to do that too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of different style of training. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
So gonna just kind of switch up the way I train, but just training in general. And then I might do Worlds in Vegas for WBFF, and then also do Super League in the September. So
Holy
to
shit,
dabble for both if I want to do it, right?
that's
So
cool.
just kind
Yeah.
of see as I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you? Walk us through in Montreal when you competed in SL3. You were kicking some serious ass, moving some heavy ass weight, and you had a little arm pull there.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That set you back a little bit, didn't it? You were working legs 4 times a week and not much for upper body, a poor thing.
Yeah, like my upper body was just really tight. I was actually pretty sick going into Super League 1. Super League 2 I was a lot better for, and then Super League 3 I just had done too many Super Leagues in a row. I was pretty
Yeah.
tired. My
Yeah.
body was pretty tired, so I was kind of teetering on the edge of that one.
But you went in and you still slayed it. How's it healing
Yeah.
up though? You're getting what you need and
Yeah, I have a partial tear in my left bicep. I gave it some rest, and I've been doing some laser treatment. So, and lots of CBD oils and stretching, massage, and cupping and stuff.
awesome.
So it's been pretty good. I mean, like my body recovers pretty quick anyways from working out and all the training that I have done
Yeah.
and the injuries I have had. So, but I just really got to watch that, right? So, going to get some more treatment done is really important to get alongside of all the lifting you do. So my muscles were just too tight going into that. And yeah,
Maybe you're going to be incorporating some yoga, eh?
yeah, and yoga. I have a really good massage girl though, so that I see that she does lots of cupping. So that's
Good.
been really good.
And
Yeah.
so the combine series, are you going to do the next one? That's this weekend. There's one. Are you doing this one? Are you going to give it a stab, or are you going to wait for the
No,
next?
this weekend I actually have to be at the Fit Fest.
Oh yes, right.
Yeah, I'm going to be emceeing at the Fit Fest in Calgary. So all weekend.
Good event. That'll be a great event.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, I think. Yeah.
Well, Ashley, I so appreciate you taking the time for this, and we all got a lot to learn from each other. And goddamn, I'm loving this. You know that you come in and well, you've definitely shown us how you've taken your struggles and turned them into strengths, and you're out there whooping it ass, and you're living proof, and you're living it. You know,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people need to get pushed into that, face that fear, and just mow it over. And you're a huge help for that. And keep whooping people into shape. We need more of that in this world. And
Oh
that's good.
yeah, for sure.
Appreciate you and your time, and I look forward to seeing you real soon where we can watch you slay it again here.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll be ready.
Yes, you will be. There's no other way Ashley performs. Take care,
Yes.
Ashley. Talk to you soon.